It's time for six-figure trucking period 32. Let's take a look at my compensation as a W-2 company driver. First, we're going to talk about the logs for the week. I was paid for 3,020 dispatched miles. I had 2,559 logged miles. My utilization this week was 81%. The day in green, I was on home time. My unedited pay statement for period 32 of 2024. This includes all trips from July 28th to August 3rd. The first trip this week started in Fort Worth, Texas, and ended at the Greer, South Carolina terminal. It had stops in Princeton, Pennsylvania, Homer City, Pennsylvania, Wapakoneta, Ohio, Fremont, Ohio, and 5 stops in North Carolina that included Kinston, Goldsboro, Garner, and Iron Station. It paid $2,245 for 2,946 miles. The second trip this week started at the Greer, South Carolina terminal and ended in Carnesville, Georgia. It paid $63 for 74 miles. Empty miles paid $222. Securement paid $57. A 34-hour reset paid $100. Loaded miles paid $1,624. And stops paid $216. Total earnings for this week was $2,308. We keep hearing that across the industry, drivers are getting less miles and making less money. I'm one that believes in hard numbers rather than anecdotal information. Here's a comparison of my miles and compensation up to this week over the last few years. 32 weeks into the year, my gross income was $65,357, and I've driven 84,086 miles. This averages out to $2,042 per week and 2,628 miles per week. Estimating that out over a year, I'm on track to earn $106,205 for 136,640 miles. Through week 32 of 2024, I've been loaded 91% of the miles and 15% have been hazmat placarded miles. This is a map of the miles per state year-to-date in which I've driven. This week, no new states were added to the map. Here's the home time that I've taken this payroll year. I've been on home time 14 times so far this year, totaling 44 days through the end of pay period 32. I've also had 16 paid 34-hour resets on the road. I'm not paid hourly, but let's calculate this like an hourly job. For the week, my gross pay was $2,308 for 50 hours of work. If we break that down to the typical hourly job, it could be 40 regular hours and 10 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $42.40 per hour. However, as straight time, it'd be $46.51 per hour. Year to date, I've earned $54,357 for 1,698 hours worked. Out of those hours, 1,263 would be regular time and 435 would be overtime. If we calculate it weekly with overtime, the effective pay rate is about $34.13 per hour. However, as straight time, it's approximately $38.50 per hour. Taking a look at the if-only truck drivers were paid for every hour in the truck calculation page, 32 weeks have went by so far. That totals 5,376 hours. I've been at home 1,058 of those hours. That works out to 4,318 hours from the pre-trip leaving home to the post-trip returning home. My compensation through week 32 is $65,357. That works out to $15.14 per hour away from home. And that's including all time sleeping, eating, watching television, working on videos. As always, make sure you're enjoying every day at work.